Started in Mandeni, that's where I studied my high school, and then I graduated, and then I came to Durban, obviously to pursue further tertiary education there. And when I got to varsity, or when I did my applications, I came to a realization that, you know, like your marks, guys, they're very, very, very important, and the standards are very, very, very high. So what you consider to be good at your hometown might be not good enough, you know, to give you that access that you need in tertiary qualifications or tertiary level. And given that I always, you know, I was very, very passionate about engineering, so I wanted to go to the field of engineering. So when I got to varsity, or while I was doing my applications, you know, I was stuck with that, you know, you can't really do certain things because of your mark. So I was in a dilemma where it's either I take something I don't like, or I go back to school and upgrade my results and I pursue something I like. And, you know, I sat down and then I talked to a couple of people, and then we decided, we said, look, it's better to just, you know, to just do that for the year, get your qualifications or your marks right, and then take it from there on and then do something that you actually like. So that's the route I took. I went back to school, I did my maths, upgraded my maths, because, you know, what I wanted was something above 60%, and initially I didn't meet that, and then I did that. So I was able to achieve 70% on my maths. So that was the ultimate goal eventually. And then I applied at different universities, and then I applied UKT and DUT, and what I applied for town and regional planning. It's something I was passionate about, so I applied there, and then my application was accepted. So that's how I ended up getting enrolled at DTPC for town and regional. Look, coming from sort of like an underprivileged areas, you know, you confined to what you see, you know. The information or the things that are around you, they sort of define you, you know. So some of the challenges I've encountered in my career journey is access to information. I think that's the biggest one, you know. Coming from underprivileged schools, I think that's the first thing, you know. A computer, you know. Most people were shocked that the first time I used Excel was in varsity my first year, or even Microsoft Word was in varsity my first year, you know. Before that, you don't have access to those infrastructure and information. So that's already, by the time you get to varsity and get to the workplace, you already end at disadvantage because of that. So those are some of the challenges, and also other challenges involve communication. You know, you take it for granted, but, you know, some people have mastered the art of communication and engaging and having networks, which is something they start at a very young age, you know. For us, coming from a underprivileged school or background, it's something, you know, you don't take very, 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 very seriously. But as soon as you start your varsity life in the workplace, and then you start to learn or acquire those skills, and then you realize, they're not as easy, or they're not as you know, as a given as you might think. It's a skill that you have to develop, and you have to harness, and eventually get to where you want to get to, you know. And some other challenges involved being, how should I put this? I think if you're fresh from varsity, or you don't have that lack of networks, getting a job, or sort of like an internship, or having like your foot into an industry that you barely know anybody, because you'll find that most of us, it's our first time in different industries, so you don't have like a family there, you don't have somebody who can guide you through the industry. So getting a foot inside that industry might be challenging. You'll find a lot of characters, and you'll find a lot of people, taking advantage of that. What I like most about my job is that I'm at a position where I could help people. Historically, we all know that the issue of land and the places we reside in, most black people grew up in townships. So growing up, I didn't understand, why do we have this separation, and I wanted to understand those dynamics, so that's why I followed my education in town planning. So the reason why I chose town planning and why I'm very passionate about it is because, I wanted to understand those dynamics and try and resolve them, and be in the forefront, or be in a position to make those changes, that affected a lot of black people historically. We all know that most black people, our mothers and fathers, whenever they go to a place of employment, they will spend roughly about I think 30 to 20% of their salary just on transport alone, just to get to the workplace. And then knowing that, how our family structures are structured, you'll find that a single parent or a single couple has to be a sole provider to multiple families, so that the family, let's say, like another family in Kandla, So for me, it was, it came from a point of being concerned, and then how do I, rectify those injustices by way of my career. So that's why I'm very passionate about town planning, and for some people who might not understand, town planning is it's a very dynamic discipline. You choose where to focus on. I had the opportunity to work with the informal settlements. I had the opportunity to work in the DTPC sector as well, with private companies. So for me, it's you constantly engage with people and improve people's life, but with what you do as a career. So for me, that brings an unmatched fulfillment in my life. So growing up, I sort of had an idea of what I wanted to do, but as previously mentioned, the lack of information sort of prevents you from knowing exactly what you want to do. And the fact that if you don't have people around you who have access or who have knowledge towards what you, or sort of guide you in terms of what you want to do, So growing up, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I couldn't put it in terms. And then I started doing my own research, I think in high school. So I started doing my own research, and then I sort of, lucky enough, we had, I think they still provide them, it's varsity expos, where you go to different varsities and sort of asked to ask questions and being introduced to different faculties and opportunities that you might pursue in varsity. So luckily enough for me, I was exposed to that, and then I was introduced to town planning, and from there on I knew exactly that this is what I want to do, and I need to work hard and pursue my goals and dreams. So yeah. My advice to young people is that, look, you shouldn't rest. You should constantly want to improve as a human. You should constantly try to push boundaries. Not everybody will tell you that. Not because they don't care. It's just because that where we come from, there's a lack of information. So what you need to do is be out there, ask questions, talk to the right people. Always trying to improve yourself, and the most importantly of all, I think your academics, you need to really take them very seriously, and not really because, you know, they're everything, but they sort of, if you come from an underprivileged background, they sort of open doors for you, you know. I think academics are pretty much what you need to open a lot of doors in South Africa, or to even have a voice. I think your academics are the first step towards achieving your goals. So once you have those, then a lot of doors will start opening based on that. So similar things, your entrance to varsity, your bursaries, your first choice of employment as well. So those are the very critical things, and they all lie on your academics. So I urge all the youth to take their academics very seriously, and not be influenced or not be too relaxed, and be comfortable on their current situation, and just work hard, man. Yeah.